Okay, so here are the travel journals that I have put together over this past week. So this will be a video on these, and it actually may be. I'm trying to keep them from being shorts, but maybe I just need to lean into when they're short because they're just flip throughs. And now that you've seen, if you've seen any of my other travel journal videos, the insides are pretty much the same on all of these. The only thing that's really different between them is the cover. This is one more, the last one of the raw paper journals, and I showed it in a previous video where it had been folded in half. I was able to weaken, or not weaken, but keep this straighter than I realized. So it's not bad. It's not a bad scar. In fact, it's very similar to the seams of where the folders are joined together in some of the ones that I made from file folders. So I decided to go ahead and turn it into a travel journal instead of trying to figure out what paper I was going to fit in it if it was just single folded. So all of these are trifold travel journals. I don't know if I'm going to make any more of the bifold travel journals. And really the main difference between these is the colors that are in them, the way they're bound, the way the closures on them, and the colors of the paper on the inside. So I will do this one first. Now, teal and orange are two of my favorite colors. I also really like purple. So I try to keep one example of everything that I make and am able to part with the rest, shall we say. So I really, 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 really love how this cover came out. This is tissue paper, layered tissue paper with ink, teal ink, and the tissue paper is purple. So it just really came out very well. I don't remember actually all the layers that are in there. I know that there's ink in one of the layers, and I did extra ink on the outside. I sprayed it on, I think. And then I put another layer of purple tissue paper on either side, and in between that is layers of either white or gray tissue paper. So this cover is layers of tissue paper treated with ink and Mod Podge for the color. And this is before my sewing machine started really getting an attitude with me. So the binding, the washi tape is sewn around. And this is the, I think I'm going to do another one because this one is the closest one that I have that matches this color. But since I'm going to keep this one, I'm going to do one specifically for it. And I'll just probably use some of that same tape. So inside, you can see the purple tissue paper and the ink that was treated with it. And it just really came out nice. I just really love the way this one came out. So inside, I tried to stick with different turquoise tones for the cardstock paper, and I'm trying to use up all this raw paper. I think I've got maybe 5 or 6 more travel journals left before I use up all this raw paper. And again, I did, it's either 15 pages for 30 pages each, or 20. Since these are wraparound binding, I can use a lot more paper in them than I otherwise would. So I may have done 25, 20, or 30 on this one, but either way, it's the highest I think I'm going to go is 30 pages. It's got a writing board for bearing down. The paper is pretty thick, but I think it still shows through. This one, I think I actually used the Speedball Beifong parchment paper, which is really, really good for fountain pens, which is another reason I'm planning to keep this one because of the paper that I used for it. And I know I use fountain pens. I don't know if anybody else out there that might want to get one like this uses fountain pens. So I also have started for probably all the travel journals I will make from here forward. Instead of having it wrap around the outsides of the binding, I will create these eyelets. So I use my Crop-A-Dile to punch in eyelets on both sides, and used this is. It's supposed to be waxed cord from Daiso, but it's not very heavily waxed. So it just feels more like just fabric cord, like a braided fabric cord. But it's really sturdy, and really, I really like the color. And I think the color matches this color family fairly well. It's a little bit lighter than a little bit lighter turquoise than I would like, but it still came out very, very nice. And this is from, I used the scallop setting on the sewing stitch for my sewing machine, and this particular washi tape, I actually have it right here, is kind of like mermaid scales. So I really like that color as well. So this one came out really, really nice. Nothing else to see here. Elastic from Daiso for the closure. They have all kinds of color of elastic there. It's really, really Oh, I kind of did that backwards, but I'll refold it later because I'm going to make another pin holder for that one anyway. And this one, I tried to see what would happen if I did minimal, just very, very minimal treatment to the leather, aside from the whole process for treating a file folder to make it look like leather. This one also has a yellow elastic from Daiso, and I always keep doing that. I should take the pin holder off first. I don't really need to take the pin holder off, but because the elastic is the binding, it always catches on the pin holder if I don't take the pin holder off first. And as you'll notice, this is it's not the same exact washi tape, but it's I think this is Starry Night, and this one is a different Van Gogh painting that I don't know the name of. But since they're the same family, I thought that this particular pin holder would work really, really well with this journal. So again, minimal treatment. This is I think all I did on the outside of this one is just spray it with different colors of ink just to broaden the color palette. And then on the inside, this was one that had oil stains on it, so I covered the inside with glitter glue and some more ink, sprayed some ink on it, and then covered it with glitter glue. And I chose this one to be the inside instead of the outside because of the way the ink stains kind of came out, or not ink stains, oil stains. Oil stains kind of came out, and they affected how the paint and how the ink and how the glue, you can kind of even see where it resisted the dye and the color and whatnot. I didn't want that to be the part that was on display, so I just decided this one would be the inside and this one would be the outside. And it came out nice. So for this one, I'm using Daiso elastic for the binding, and I think I just did 2 loops on these. I tried 3 loops on one of the other ones, this one I think that I made, and I think that might be too much tension, so I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go back in and untie it and loosen it. So for this one, I copied a bunch of lines onto just regular printer paper, and I'm also, it seemed like a good idea at the time. But the ones where I extended the lines by hand to try to get the whole paper just looked kind of, looked too handmade, I guess. And I had the writing boards from the Yamamoto paper that came out really, really crisp and clean with the lines. So I think I'm going to stick with either the really pale lines like this one, where it's not as in your face and garish, or the ones that are very, very crisp like this one. And I won't copy these anymore. These are the pages that I use for my calligraphy practice. So I extended the line so I would have a template that I could put underneath A4 paper, because the book is just 8.5 by 11 paper. So when I copied them, I think it's just too dark, because you almost can't even write on this because the pattern is too dark. So I'm going to use this up, and then I'm not going to make any more after that. So again, 2 signatures. It's either, I think this one is 20 sheets. I think this is the first one I did 30 sheets. So I think this one is 20 sheets, and I think the other one might be 20 sheets. So you got 40 and 40 for 80 sheets total in the book. And I think that's it. This is the first one also where I use the double stick tape to secure the washi tape instead of sewing it on. And so far, so good. I'll leave it sit over time and see if it stays good or, yeah, let me make the pockets on the bottom. Because I know that washi tape does not have very strong adhesive, and I think this particular double stick tape has a very strong adhesive, so I think it'll last the distance, just in terms of how much somebody would use it to travel with or write with. We will between now and October, I'll definitely have an opinion on whether it does or not. So there is that. So again, this one is the same format with the raw paper instead of the file folder paper. It's just layers of raw paper with treated with the glitter glue and probably Mod Podge. Usually, and this one I actually attached the string to it. I don't usually do that, but I did for this one. Pretty straightforward. I used orange, pink, and teal. This is the last, I think, of the orange, of the pink paper. I didn't have much of the pink paper. I got more of the teal paper for pockets. So. But the ones I'm making now, I'm using up the raw paper first, especially since I ran out of pink paper. So that is what I will do with that one. So and I'm pretty sure this one is just 15, because I was using actual my leftover notebook paper and engineering paper that I had for this one. So this one I think is just 15 sheets for 30 for 60 sheets total in the overall journal. And I think I had this one. Did I have it wrapped twice? Yeah, I had it wrapped twice. And last but not least, this is the one I just finished yesterday. And again, in another attempt to try to do different things with a cover besides just Mod Podge. This one is treated with, it's this soft touch acrylic finish. And it's a matte finish. And what it really does makes it feels, I can't really describe it effectively, but it just feels really soft. So, but the reason I wanted to treat it with something and just didn't leave it there is because I didn't want the paint that I used to flake off and stain anything that it was up against. So I put the soft touch on there. I don't have any history with this one in this type of use to know how it's going to wear. So this will also be one that I'll be watching until October to see how it does with time and whether it does effectively seal the pigment on the cover in. So again, the cover is ink, the gold mica powder in glue or dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and it's, I think the base is a blue file folder is what I started with for this one. Yeah, this is dark blue on the outside, regular blue on the inside, and I treated the inside with the soft touch acrylic as well because this particular one, when I was crunching it up, it tore a little bit. So I wanted to put something over it to make sure that those places where the layer was compromised were strengthened in some way, form, or fashion. So theme for this one, even though the outside is purple, the theme for the inside is blue because I didn't color this one or paint this one at all. I just treated it with a soft touch acrylic. And I believe this one has 15 and 15 for 60 pages. So you can see I just did gradients of blue for the pockets and all raw paper for the pockets on this one instead of using the construction paper. And purple pin holder to match the outside cover. So pretty straightforward. And so that is all the, oh, wait, hold on. Travel journals that I've made this past week. And so I'm thinking if I have at least 100 made by October, that would be a good stock. And then I can just expand from there. So my initial goal is to get up to 100. Then we'll see how much more I have supplies for and how much more I can make. So again, that's October 16th through 18th, Hill Country Retreat Annual Arts and Crafts Fair, if anybody is in the area and is interested.